Hi, I'm Cameron,
And I'm Hayden.
and this is
Until the End of Crime.
Hayden. When you were a runner,
Yeah.
what were some of your least favorite things that happened as a result of running?
Least favorite results?
What were some of your least favorite things that happened as a result of running? Not the positive things that you were seeking. Running can help your mental health. Obviously, it can help keep you in, or your physical health as well. But I don't know, did you get blisters? Did your nipples get chapped? Some of the
my
negative...
nipples would chafe.
Okay.
That's true. Especially if I wore something that was moisture wicking. And if I went for a longer run, and I didn't do this very often, but if I decided I was going to do 5 miles instead of 3, my nipples would be so chafed at the end, and it would be so uncomfortable. So I guess that is one of the things. I didn't really get blisters. I just remember feeling so good when I was a runner. For a minute, my resting heart rate got really, really low, in the low 40s. And my doctor was a little concerned, but nothing that was a big deal. So no, I can't really, other than nipple chafing, I forgot about that. And I mean, I guess sometimes if I'd go for a long run and I wasn't aware of what the weather was going to be, it might start raining or drizzle, and that would cause more discomfort with the moisture wicking shirts. I don't like moisture wicking shirts. It didn't take me long to figure out that was not right for me and my running experience. I need just straight up cotton. So I guess that's it. I also didn't love running past people. I thought it was uncomfortable if I needed to pass someone else who was also running, that felt like a real dick thing to do. I wasn't respecting their speed, which I know is silly, but also okay.
Because you've got different length legs, and you also have different goals of what you're doing. They may just be...
Who am I to pass up another runner?
They just may be
That's what I would feel. Gosh. And sometimes I didn't like that I would feel self-conscious because I did have a lot of loose skin. So I would try to tuck it away into my waistband and tighten my shorts really tight. And then if I saw someone who was running and they just looked amazing, I would be oh, I can never look like that. So I guess that's what I can think of.
I just can't run. It's just not a thing.
I can't run right now either. I can barely fast walk right now. So
even as a child, I was not a runner.
Right. So what about running?
Holmdel Township, New Jersey was incorporated on February 23rd, 1857. It is just over 18 square miles, and the 2020 census determined its population to be 17,400.
Okay.
The estimated population as of 2023 has gone up to 17,402.
Ooh, huge difference. Talk about an influx.
I mean,
someone's gentrifying something up there.
I saw that on Wikipedia and I was like, the estimation over the last 4 years is that it's gone up 2 people. Anyway, it sits 15 miles from the Jersey Shore and less than an hour's drive to New York City, making the township a great place to live.
Does that make it a great place to live?
Location, Hayden, you know.
Literally right before I got on this call with you, Andrew and I were watching a Christmas bake-off show, and we were rooting for this gay man, and then a nice black woman came on, and she was like, my whole life changed when I was inside the towers during 9/11. I was like, what the fuck? Just give this lady the prize. Why are we doing this? She was in the towers on 9/11. I don't care how well she bakes. Make her the winner.
And did she win?
We literally haven't even watched a full episode together yet. Just literally started it. So, but I will say I wasn't a fan of what she was doing with her roles. That doesn't mean they're not going to be good.
Sure.
So, I'm sorry. Back to New Jersey, not New York or the World Trade Centers or the Holiday Baking Championship.
But less than an hour's drive from New York City. Okay, so not only that, but being within commuting distance to New York City, sitting along main highways, having a rich history, the PNC Bank Arts Center, and award-winning schools. Holmdel Township was ranked the number one, quote, six-figure town by Money Magazine and CNN in 2009.
Well, why aren't we living there?
The median household income there, according to data collected from 2013 to 2017, is over $155,000.
That seems like normal. Is that
maybe
not?
I don't know, maybe to you, but I'm a single income household.
Well, I assume that most households are at least dual income.
Do you think that you're talking from a place of privilege to say that $150,000?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. When you said that it was the wealthiest, or what moniker does it have? What designation?
The number one six-figure town.
So to me, when I hear number one six-figure town, I mean, I think of places like, and of course, I think I may have misunderstood, like they had the highest median wealth, but like I think of places like San Francisco or, places where it's so incredibly exorbitantly expensive to live there.
From what I understood, this is a township that has a lot of very, very large homes. And if 155,000 is the median, what is the range?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
What's the mean, median, mode, and range?
Oh, Jesus.
That does suggest there's a lot of really high incomes and some lower incomes if it's the median. So
right. I'm glad that you finally came around to the magnitude of this median income.
Like even in Texas, if two teachers have a dual income, they're probably talking at least 120,000.
No.
Yeah, I'm thinking just like right here where we both used to work.
So sure. Mm-hmm. But I worked at 5 different schools. I think that you could safely expect, if you had years of experience on both in both circumstances, that you would expect 100,000 based on my experience, which if I were in the school that I worked at the most recently in the States, assuming that I had the stipends that I had there, yes, I think in that area you could expect to make that much. But I wouldn't say that generally. I think that if you're looking at non-6A schools, if you're looking at smaller towns, I mean, at the first school that we both worked at, we would be
lower.
looking at, right, we would be looking at like double income household would be making about 80,000.
Yeah. Of course, that was 2014.
Yeah.
2015.
It's true. I haven't taught there haven't taught in America since 2024.
I'm just saying, for two college-educated people, dual income household, 150 doesn't feel like that much of a stretch to me.
That's fair.
It's not necessarily
my experience, but
not that that's not a privileged experience. I'm just saying I don't think it's necessarily unordinary, especially if like per capita they have high education attainment or professional careers, right? So a lot of demographics go into that for it to make sense.
Right. So
we've talked for so long I have to pee, but I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. Del Valley, New Jersey. Del Rio. Del Rickle.
Holmdel,
which
is Holmdel.
Okay.
I mentioned award-winning schools, so let's talk a little bit more about those. Okay. As of the 2022-2023 school year, Holmdel Township Public Schools has 4 schools within its district: Village Elementary, Indian Hill School, William R. Satz Middle School, and, you guessed it, Holmdel High School.
I keep wanting Del to go first, so I keep thinking like Del Holm.
It does not go first.
Holmdel.
Yeah.
Holmdel?
No, Del.
Okay. Wow, I'm struggling to focus today.
They had just under 3,000 students enrolled from pre-K to 12th grade, which all of this is pretty standard for a United States school district.
Yeah.
In 1988, Holmdel High School garnered national attention when it was revealed that 20 underclassmen on the football team were coerced into playing Twister at a preseason football camp in Pennsylvania. They were videotaped by senior members of the team who had forced them to play the game nude.
Oh no. Well, I don't like this.
This incident is one of those moments that made people take a step back and realize that maybe the conversation shouldn't just be boys will be boys and should instead be hazing is wrong.
Yeah. No hazing, just praising.
Exactly. I say that all the time.
That was a slogan of one of the Christian sororities at my undergrad. No hazing, just praising. I think they had a shirt that said that. That's kind of fire, right? No hazing, just praising.
I suppose.
And I think they their other name was Sisters for the Lord or Sisters of the Lord.
That just makes me think of Drag Race.
No hazing, just praising. Okay, I'm sorry. This is not a funny matter.
No, it really shifted the national narrative around hazing, and policies were implemented as a result of this incident and some other incidents that also took place around the late 80s and early 90s.
It makes me think back to just a few years ago, a local area school district to where I am, Lavernia, had some kind of hazing scandal. So it's crazy to me that why would we be hazing in high school?
Well, to be on the football team, I don't know.
What a prize.
As a result of this, the 85 members of the Holmdel High School football team were all ordered to undergo mental health counseling, and some coaches were disciplined or relieved of their position at the school, depending on the source. Which really begs some questions, but I have no answers because this is not what we're here to talk about.
Okay.
The Holmdel Hornets played and presumably practiced at their home football stadium, the Holmdel Township High School Stadium. And
I'm going to hear Holmdel a lot today, aren't I?
I think we're almost done saying it. It's not going to be said that many more times.
Okay, because I've heard Holmdel so many times.
There's no way for me to vary that. There's no way. I can't.
We could call it HD. We could call it...
it's one word, Hayden. Stop trying to make Del happen. It's not its own thing.
It just feels... Go ahead. Let me shut the fuck up. Sorry.
And in early 2018, this stadium became the focus of the police and eventually the media.
Okay. But we're still in Holmdel.
Oh, yeah, Holmdel.
And we're going to be there for a while.
Yeah, we'll be there for a bit.
We're not leaving Holmdel today, are we?
We actually do. We do.
Oh, okay.
We venture out of...
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. I'm just shut the fuck up. Self.
That's for you, Stephanie.
VIP patron.
She's not on the Patreon. Although we do have 14 people on there, but only 4 or 5 of them are paid members.
Okay, weird. We have 14. Thank you, 14 Patreons.
Apparently,
patrons.
In the last couple weeks, we've had a lot of people join at our free tier.
Fans, listeners, legion of besties, you continue to surprise me because when we give you nothing, you sign up for our Patreon. When we're gone for weeks at a time, inexplicably, you say, oh, maybe it's behind the Patreon. However you're here, whyever you're here, thank you. I can't believe you listen to us, but I love that you do. And so again, I'm going to shut the fuck up and let Cameron tell this story so that you can learn about Holmdel. I'm losing it.
For those listeners who are not from Texas or even the United States, where American football is king, let's do some background information. Most high schools have their own football stadium. Some school districts have a stadium or two that their high schools share. But generally speaking, in Texas, as someone who has attended many a high school football game, either as a volunteer for the high school band when I was in middle school, a performer when I was in high school, performing with both the dance team and the band, or when I was a cheer coach at almost every school I worked at, each high school has their own stadium. And since schools are funded by local taxpayers, the stadium is generally open to the public outside of school hours and events. People use the stadiums as a place to get a workout in, either walking around the track, taking advantage of the bleachers, or going for their daily run.
I'll tell you what, you're never going to find me doing bleachers. Not even at the height of my fitness.
They are bleachers and burpees, man. You tell an athletic group that they're gonna do bleachers or burpees, and you're gonna hear some groans.
Can you use the field? Is the field something you can use if you go to the track? It's just like a taxpayer? So. Yeah, it's weird. I've never really considered that. I suppose you'd have to. I don't know. Weird. How many football games do you think you've been to in your life?
High school football games?
Yeah.
Have I been to a non-high school football game?
Surely not.
I don't think I have, actually.
Did you ever go to one of the UT games when you were a student?
No, I worked 2 jobs.
Okay. All right. I know you didn't mean this way, but that was such a, like, it sounded so much like a martyr to me. No, I had to work 2 jobs.
Certainly, it didn't feel like I was being a martyr. It felt like I was
I know.
Surviving.
If you think about it, how many football games are in a regular season?
So in a regular high school football season, there are 10. That's what I was just doing. So when I was in school, we would go into the playoffs almost every year, and we would go pretty far into the playoffs. But I'm not going to count those extra games. I'm just going to count like base level. I would say that I have been to, 150.
I can't do the math on mine, but my mom was a statistician, like, for most of my childhood. And I would say, like, from elementary, even through middle school, and maybe even part of high school, my mom took stats for the high school football team. Mm-hmm. And then when we went to all of those games, because if my mom was at the game on a Friday, I was at the game on a Friday. And then if it was out of town, both of my parents would be there for sure. And my dad usually went to the football games at home too. Because he always ended up having to do something with, like, transportation, right? As transportation director. Yeah. And then when they were away games, my dad drove the truck that carried the band instruments. And of course, my mom would go too. And so that was forever, going to football games. And I don't think I went much like my 7th and 8th grade years, because it caused so much unrest in my family with my mom that I decided not to play football. And then I was in high school band every year except senior year. But senior year, I went to every game because I wanted to go and have fun. And then I didn't go to many as... Well, we would go when we were teaching in Three Rivers, even before you did cheer.
Yeah. I went to almost every single football game, if not every football game, when I taught there.
Yeah, me, you, and Kristen would go together, right?
And my first year teaching, Lynette and I would go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we did that. Now, while I was at Clemens before BC, before Cameron, I would...
BC before cheer.
BC before cheer. I would go to like 2 or 3 football games a year. And I would go watch varsity, and I'd also go watch JV. I
didn't even count freshman, JV. I didn't even count the middle school games that I cheered at. I didn't count anything other than regular season varsity high school football games. Good grief. I've probably been to close to 200 football games.
I think at least. I think if you count all of that, at least. Listen, I'm not going to call myself an expert on anything related to football, but I know my way around a fucking track. I know my way around a high school football facility.
Do you want to know my next line?
What? If
I'm not mistaken, you and I have taken walks around high school tracks before.
Yes. We've sat on tracks. We've
disassociated on tracks.
Had to prove I was eligible to be on the track.
I knew exactly where you were going to go.
Hold up my fucking pass when someone was sent to do someone else's bidding. Like, yeah. But, dear listeners, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about anymore.
But that's your understanding as well, right? That because the stadium that we were walking around, we both worked at, but it's usually left available for anyone in the public to use when it's not being used directly for school things.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I'm having to do a little deductive reasoning for some of this. So just excuse some of the details. Not all of them are definitive. For instance, I cannot tell you the first date right that human feces was found near the track at the Holmdel Township High School Stadium?
Sure, carry on.
I'm sure whoever came across it probably thought, wow, this is disgusting, and maybe even thought that it was left by an animal. Well, unless the depositor had eaten corn recently.
I mean, an animal did leave it behind. It might have just been a Homo sapien.
That's a fair point. Governed under different laws than a stray dog or, I don't know, a giraffe. The second time someone came upon human feces near the track was probably more alarming than the first. And it really begs some questions, right? Like, I get it. Running makes you poop, and it can cause an urgency. Did you ever have that experience?
Sometimes you start running and the poop starts coming, and you're just like, okay, batten down the hatches.
All I could think was Smash Mouth.
You know, it's that I forgot about that too. It didn't happen often to me because I just wasn't really eating much of anything at that time.
Not because you were anorexic, but because your stomach did not allow for much to go in. Yeah.
Yes, I had gastric sleeve surgery. And so I wasn't eating a whole lot. I only pooped like every 2 or 3 days. And so, but sometimes running would cause that to move through, and I'd be like, all right. And, you know, I don't really love pooping in public places. And so the place I would go run, because I was always an outside runner, only ever had like a porta potty.
Mm-hmm. But let's be clear. That is less public than what was going on here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If I was in such dire straits, I thought I was going to shit on the ground, I would make it back to the porta potty.
Do you think you would do it twice?
You know, you're posing an interesting question. If I hate this place, maybe.
Oh. Developing a theory, are we?
I'm not even developing a theory. I'm just thinking about, does someone I hate have to clean this up? Does someone I don't like have to come by and see this? Right? But other than that, I wouldn't give it much thought. If I poop, it's literally because I have to poop. It's not to make life worse for someone else. It's so that I don't make life worse for me.
That's fair, I think.
Also, I think it's weird to be alarmed by seeing poop that could be human. I think I'd be like, someone shit here.
The first
I don't know if
time.
I'd give it a lot of thought.
What
Was it
about
on the
second
track?
time? We'll get there.
Okay, because if it's on the track, that's one thing. If it's off in the grass pitch, the field, okay, that's fine.
Different reports say different things. It seems like it was in a variety of places.
If the chocolate soft serve emoji is in the middle of the track, I will be concerned, especially if corn is in it. But if it's just like a pretty normal turd, I don't think I would think a lot about it. I'd be like, damn, that's a big deer.
So when I was in middle school, our athletic period at least once a week required that we do a 2-mile run. I mean, with the one-time exception, when I decided that I would jog the whole thing, I walked it every time. But we just had to do it. And those who liked running or were involved in running sports, they would run it. It was along the country road that went by the school. And it seems that this was required of both the boys and the girls' athletic periods, but I don't think that we all had athletics at the same time. We only had one gym within which to practice basketball, so that would have been an impossibility. But what I do know is that during a run once, one of the boys urgently had to take a dump. And so he ended up having to relieve himself on the side of the road. And I don't actually think that there's a worse time in your life, middle school, or a worse situation being surrounded by middle schoolers to find yourself in that predicament.
I could agree to that.
This is just middle school humor. I'm trying to be a bit of an adult, but turns out I'm not. Mm-hmm. But let's bring it back. My classmate was on the side of a country road. This was next to a public track. And I've never been to a single stadium that did not have at least one set of public restrooms on the home side, but usually also on the visitor side as well. And I'm just guesstimating here, but that's at least 8 toilets within proximity of this track. And yet the poopatrator had left their load next to the track twice.
You're so stupid. The poopatrator. Oh my God. Jesus. The turd burglar. To be fair, I don't think Three Rivers visitor side has a set of bathrooms.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Some of them it's just on the home side. But usually it's both. Well, but it's usually where the concession stand is. In some schools, some stadiums are big enough to have concessions being sold on both sides, and then some aren't.
Yeah. I assume smaller schools, most don't necessarily have concessions on both sides.
Yeah. So then it happened a third time, and a fourth, a fifth.
At what frequency?
6, 7, which is a shout out to the handful of middle schoolers at each school that aren't letting that go yet. And then an 8th time. It depends on who you ask, but if you were to ask the school, they would say that it was on a daily basis.
Daily? Someone was taking a shit for 8 days at the track? Damn, whoever it is, they're making efforts to have a lot of poop every day.
What do you mean?
I think what's normal is to poop 3 times a day to 3 times a week. It's supposed to be like the magic number. And... well, in my mind, I'm assuming this is some high school or middle school kid shitting on the track. Was it during the school year?
Yeah, it was in April.
And so I assume the poopatrator is making sure they have enough poop to poop every day.
I mean, I poop every morning.
We don't have to get into all the poop logistics. We can just keep pushing forward.
If you're saying 3 times a day is...
Listen, we don't have to get into the shit-tistics, but...
the shit sticks.
Shit-sticks. Sounds like some terrible fish byproducts.
Did I say it happened an 8th time?
Yes.
Okay. So part of the reason that the police couldn't confirm when this began was cited as it being an ongoing investigation.
Okay.
I mentioned before that I do not know how many times this happened, but one source said it was 8 times, so I feel like I'm just going with that. So my next question for you, Hayden, is how do you solve this mystery? Who are your suspects? What is the motive? How do you get to the bottom, pun intended, of this?
So there's an episode of Bob's Burgers. And they end up calling him the Mad Pooper. But there's a kid going around pooping in other kids' like dioramas, in the library, around campus.
Hayden, I have a character that comes up in this story later on that they call the Mad Pooper.
That's so funny. That's so funny. What's crazy is that Bob's Burgers is supposed to be based in New Jersey. And so, and right off of the beach. And so, no, but the Mad Pooper just goes around pooping everywhere. And ultimately, it's kind of revealed that he's doing it for attention because his dad moves him around too much and his mama left. And so he's pooping all over the place. And then he's about to poop in the middle of an assembly and he gets stopped.
But what's your investigative approach?
Well, surely a stakeout is okay. I guess you first ask, are there cameras? Are there cameras on this facility? Can I see who's coming in and when they're leaving? Also, is the poop being transported there or is it clearly being done there?
It's being done there.
And we know that for sure?
Yes.
Because someone could theoretically pick up a turd and just bloop.
It's being done there.
Okay. And it's on the track.
According to some sources, sometimes it's on the track, sometimes it's next to the track, sometimes it's under the bleachers.
Wow. I think if there's no cameras, no kind of... I assume you would have to do like a stakeout. Like,
what snacks do you bring to that? Chocolate?
Not corn. Right? I think the snacks you bring are water so you can wash it out of your mouth when you smell it.
Chocolate covered, those little mini chocolate donuts.
Bunch of Crunch or Crunch a Munch or whatever it's called.
Bunch of Crunch, I think.
Yeah. So I assume a stakeout is like the most reliable way, the lowest tech way.
And you said that your suspects are middle school or high schoolers?
That's where my brain goes. Could be an odd, disgruntled teacher. Maybe a community member who is pissed off about the tax rate. Maybe an indignant principal who's upset about how his life has played out.
I'm just thinking of my last principal.
A cheer coach, perchance.
More likely an angry cheer mom.
Yeah, it's hard for me to fathom who is shitting on a track. And pre-2022, 23, I wouldn't have ever expected adult people to be able to go poop on the track. But after everything I've lived through, I've learned that adults can be just as crazy, if not as crazy as kids. So, or if not more crazy.
Yeah, that one.
That's what I meant to say.
Sure. Yeah.
If not just as more so. And so, Cameron, I don't know. I don't know how to dwindle this suspect list. I'll tell you this. It's probably not someone who's rel thin. They're not eating enough to poop. Not every day. And if it's a daily occurrence, that's where I'm kind of like,
I don't know that you can say that. Some people just have a really high metabolism and they eat a lot of fiber and drink a lot of coffee.
You asked me how I would narrow it down. I'm just telling you my thinking process.
Okay. So in some sources, it chalked this up to the ingenuity of a police investigation. But from everything that I read, it really seems like it was the SRO, or school resource officer, which is sometimes a member of the local police department who works for or with the school. But it seems that the SRO, Jonathan Martin, just wanted to get to the bottom of this, which is why he set up a video camera discreetly at the field as part of this sting operation.
Now, I don't know if you can set up and record people without their consent if they're children in a school setting, but if they already have that, then I guess it doesn't matter. Continue, please.
It wasn't just him. There were other police officers that were involved in this.
I was thinking like a Paul Blart Mall Cop situation.
No, because think about it. If he's an SRO who is employed by the police department and just works, that's his role, is to work at the school. But it wasn't just him, although that would be funny. So again, I have a lot of questions because I don't know. I mean, I guess I know, but was it in the same general spot every day? Did the camera have to be set up so that it could see the entirety of the track? What I do know is on the morning,
kind of like forensic science to see how stiff it was, how dry it was, how long it had been there?
No.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of. On the morning of April 30th, 2018, after human feces had been found near the track, quote, on a daily basis, unquote, for an undetermined period of time, or maybe 8 times, they caught the culprit brown-handed.
Wow, you are really hard on the puns today. They're having to do a lot of lifting in this case.
I mean, some of them wrote themselves, to be fair. At 5:50 a.m., after witnessing 42-year-old Thomas Tramaglini defecate next to the track.
Tramaglini?
Police officers approached him. The stadium was where he took his morning runs and dumps, as it were.
And let me guess, he had a brownout.
I prefer the toilet in the comfort of my own home. But hey, to each their own, am I right?
You are right.
Tramaglini lived within 3 miles of the school in this affluent township, and he was making just under the median household income, bringing in nearly $150,000, working 26 miles away as the superintendent of Kenilworth Independent School District.
Stupid!
He was nicknamed the Pooperintendent, which is top-tier comedy if you ask me.
Oh, no.
He also was a part-time lecturer for the Graduate School of Education at Rutgers.
Okay.
Tramaglini was arrested before 6 a.m. He was charged with lewdness, public defecation, and littering.
You know what? I don't think it should be littering if it's biodegradable, if it's a natural...
Hold that thought, because this begs even more questions. So I'm going to tell you how I found this case and how I considered telling you multiple cases like this, because I came across a story originally about an uncaught woman in Colorado who poops in the Buddy. Allegedly, their surname is pronounced like Buddy, unless it's German and pronounced in the German way, in which case it would be pronounced like booty and makes it all the more ironically funnier. But the Buddy family's yard while she's running, and she even brings paper towels, wipes, and leaves it at her crime scene.
We're crazy.
Once, the homeowner asked the lady if she was really crapping on her yard in front of her children, and the lady confirmed, apologized, and then went on her merry way. I will now read a direct quote from the source that I read this from.
Just to be clear, we've shifted gears into booty briefly.
Yes.
Okay.
Kathy Buddy, the homeowner whose lawn is getting fertilized, found out when her kids caught the woman mid-poo. Oh, God. So Kathy assumed, I think as any rational person would, that the woman would then be mortified to have caught herself in this situation and wouldn't run that path again. Instead, she decided to repeatedly contribute her homemade fertilizer to the Buddy's lawn.
Even after being caught?
Yes. Like, the kids went inside and they were like, there's a lady pooping out there. And Kathy went outside and was like, are you seriously pooping in front of my children on my lawn? And the lady was like, yeah, sorry. And then proceeded to do it again and again. So a final note on this unidentified pooping bandit. She's pooped in other people's backyards and in a Walgreens parking lot.
This sounds almost like a compulsion.
Yeah. But when I came across that story, I started looking for similar ones, and ding ding, found the winner. No word on if he had eaten a chicken dinner.
Well, if he did, he was shitting it out on the track.
Indeed, before 6 a.m. Immediately following Tremaglini's arrest, he was put on paid leave of absence. About 2 months later, the Kenilworth School District accepted his resignation, effective September 30th, 2018. From what I could deduce, he never resumed his role as the superintendent, but instead used his vacation days in order to get the payout from those unused days, which amounted to $23,827. This amount was included in the severance package, which included full salary through the end of September and amounted to almost $110,000. The school district said that his employment during his legal battle was, quote, too much of a distraction, and the payout was worth it to avoid a lengthy and costly legal battle over the details of his contract. Basically, the payout was cheaper than letting it play out through the legal system, and it's estimated that it saved the district nearly $100,000 in the long run, which again, pun intended. In October 2018, Thomas Tremaglini pleaded guilty to 1 count of defecating in public for the April 30th instance.
The one he got caught on.
That was witnessed and filmed by the police.
Imagine getting filmed shitting by the police. The police.
Hayden, the thing that stands out to me the most is that they had to have waited for him to finish before they approached him. Which means they watched the whole act.
You know, some people pay good money for that.
Oh, Tremaglini admitted to crapping under the bleachers near the football field.
Did he say why he did this?
Kind of. He paid court costs and a $500 fine. The other charges were dropped as a part of the plea agreement that his legal team had negotiated. Speaking of his legal team, the defense they put up was that he had a documented medical condition that had an effect on his bowel movements when he runs, and which had worsened as he had gotten older. They also took issue with the allegation that this was a daily occurrence. Throughout this time period, it would appear that the media got their hands on Tremaglini's mugshot, and his lawyer announced that they would be filing a suit against the Holmdel Township Police Department for leaking the shot.
You just wanted to do puns. Poons. Not poons.
I don't like that. The argument was that the police had maliciously released his photo to the press in order to humiliate him for a non-indictable offense. And
he was already humiliated by himself.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing here. I would just try to move on from this as quickly as possible. Not smear it through the court system.
Oh my God.
Okay. In the other cases that were low-level offenses, the school board had actually cited the mugshot as a reason for him to lose his job. To be clear, he resigned, was not fired. So right there alone, me, with zero legal knowledge, I could justifiably get that case thrown out. My guess is that's exactly why schools operate in that way. And I would say more, but not today. A U.S. District Court judge threw the lawsuit out because, shockingly, it was hard to draw a distinct correlative line between the mugshot being released and his resignation. I'm going to guess they gave him a positive reference letter to take with him, but I don't have any proof of that. It's just speculation on my part. The judge wrote that, basically, the media covered the case because it was sensational and because it was the superintendent of a school district found eliminating his bowels on the campus of a school. Not in his district, though, in case that wasn't clear already.
Hell yeah, it was sensational.
But they didn't stop there. When the federal judge threw out the case, they filed a civil one at the New Jersey state level in the Superior Court and asked that the Attorney General investigate the Holmdel Police Department. Apparently, it was cited in the lawsuit that his ex-wife and elementary-aged children had received threats as a direct result of the release of his mugshot and the negative press that accompanied it.
What about his responsibility as the mad pooper?
He's not the mad pooper.
Okay, what about his role in being the pooperintendent?
He is the superintendent. For his family, you mean? Or what do you mean?
He wants to fault the police for his own bad choices.
For releasing his mugshot.
Which would not exist if he weren't the pooperintendent.
Right, but the case that he and his legal team were making is that other non-indictable low-level offenses, their mugshots had never been released. So anybody else previously with a comparable crime to his or whatever those mugshots were not released. And so he's saying that because they hadn't been released before, that this was done maliciously. But I'm with the judge. The media was going to pick this up no matter which way you looked at it because it is sensational.
Right.
So look, I picked this case because it carried a level of levity that works for this podcast in a way that gruesome murders doesn't always permit. I could understand the first time if it wasn't something he was able to control or whatever.
I could even accept it the second time.
Especially if there's a documented medical reason. It's the failure to take into account any planning, any seeming attempt to prevent this from being a repeated offense, and especially leaving it there for someone else to have to, best case scenario, clean up, worst case scenario, step or fall in.
There's diapers, there's douches.
Right.
There's a lot of different ways. If you really need to go run on that track.
Yeah, so I think I've already covered this, but some of the excrement was found on the track, according to some sources. Some was near, and then apparently under the bleachers, which was what he admitted to. I don't know if his ex-wife became his ex as a result of this case, or if that was finished or in the works prior to this. If his children did legitimately get threats, that's certainly not okay.
No.
But I guess if the internet has taught us anything, people are not okay. But ultimately, I think I'd have liked more accountability taken on his part.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did it. Yes, it happened more than once. This is a medical condition, which has remained as unnamed as the lady they refer to as the Mad Pooper in Colorado. And I would probably love more than anything else a justifiable explanation for not even attempting to clean it up. Anyway, apparently, he no longer works in any educational capacity and seemingly is an entrepreneur and small business owner. He works for a company called Onesta, which I must admit I originally confused with Olestra, which would have been very funny since Olestra got into so much trouble for the oily shits it caused people to have if they ate too much of it. He's also spending his time helping out charities and nonprofit organizations.
Okay. The Pooperintendent Foundation.
No names. No names were cited.
You know, I think I can forgive a lot. I think that most people can. And something like shitting at a track, I could forgive easily. Honestly, if you tell me why, I'm probably going to think it's funny and then, wait for you to stop, right? But to know that he was shitting there at the very minimal periodically and then getting caught, like, sir, you have to own it. You have to own it. I mean, I guess you don't have to. You got a good severance deal from it. Doesn't sound like we're charged with any kind of large crimes. And so just be honest. Why were we pooping there?
Yeah.
Was it just a medical condition? Why could you not do it at your home 3 miles away?
Right.
Why could you not wear a diaper? Why could you not make some kind of plan?
Or try to clean up after. Bring some doggy bags.
Yeah.
Or, see, you said earlier that the littering you didn't really agree with because it was biodegradable. We don't know if he brought anything to wipe with, although I'm sure if he did, that would have been included in any of the sources, which is kind of disgusting because that means that he was just rocking whatever was left over back home, I suppose, hopefully to take a shower.
And it is, like, poop is a biohazard.
It is, but also this is 2018, so it's not unreasonable to think that there was not grass, there was turf, which would be a very different, I mean, I guess all those little things kind of do look like kitty litter, but it's still not. Bring kitty litter. What? I mean, I don't know. The leaving it there.
A litter box with you.
The leaving it there is the craziest part to me.
Yeah.
And the fact that if it did happen daily, we're talking more than a week.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry I didn't bring you a gruesome murder.
It's okay. This poop story was so fucking weird. It was... I have more puns than I know what to do with.
And no motive to be seen.
That's what's so wild. Like, to not know why this man was pooping.
If it were me and it happened the second time, I would change something that I was doing unless I was doing it intentionally.
Right. Maybe
he did it the first time and then realized that he took some sort of pleasure from it. I don't know.
Something about it was deviant.
Yeah.
Pleasure-seeking, deviant. I think you really hit it out of the park. You really nailed it. You did your big one.
I don't know what it is that you're trying to say.
No, I liked it. This case.
My big one?
Yeah. Your big doo-doo.
Oh, doo-doo.
Your hot shit.
Man, that would have been such a good thing to include. The use of do. Like that happens sometimes in the English language.
Yeah.
It's not what you don't do, it's what you do. If I had incorporated that would have been really good. Wow. I'm embarrassed, disappointed, ashamed.
I think you have a lot to be embarrassed about. It's not forgetting doo-doo.
Should we get into that list or?
No. I mean, it happened all throughout the episode. People will hear.
Oh, I should be embarrassed? I'm just bringing you the cases.
They're going to hear every poop pun that you made.
Poopatrator? You seemed to really take issue with Poopatrator.
I suppose that was my favorite. Oh. I liked Poopatrator.
I liked Pooperintendent,
that one was
but
funny.
That one wasn't mine.
I did not like Pooperintendent as much as I liked Poopatrator. And that's all we've got for this episode. Thank you for listening.
Until the next crime.
If you enjoyed listening and want to hear more, please subscribe, give us a 5-star rating, and leave a review.
A complete list of sources can be found in the episode description.
Recommend us to a friend or a random mad pooper. And if you're able and willing to help us produce this podcast, sign up for our Patreon.
The link to joining our supportive bestie tier for only $2 a month is listed on the show notes. Also, we have a free tier that several people have decided to sign up for recently, so thank you. Welcome. Nice to see you there.
Welcome.
And make sure you're following us at End of Crime Pod on Instagram.
Our email address is endofcrimepod@gmail.com. Feel free to reach out with questions or episode suggestions.